Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in. And today we are going to be doing a tier list of the North American cryptids. Now, this is something I just wanted to do for fun, just kind of threw together in an afternoon. So it's by no means a comprehensive list, but should still have plenty of fun doing it. So I have let me just hold on. Let me just move myself over so that gets ready. And let's transition over. Here we are. Crap. Shit. Can't see my cursor. That's not good. Give me a second while I try to where the hold on. Might be. Hold on. Hold on, let me try something. Okay. Sorry about that. Anyways, let's get started. I also have another browser set open up just to read off some of these because some of them I didn't even know existed until making this list. Right, we are starting off with the Ozark Howler. So, the Ozark Howler is a large bear-like creature that is said to inhabit the Ozark mountain range. It is known for having black, shaggy fur, red eyes, and prominent horns. It is also said to be an omen of death to certain people. And others, did I mention how bad I am at public speaking? Anyways, I'd give it a B tier. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for it. Good baseline, kinda. Alright, next up we have Momo, aka the Missouri Monster, which is a Bigfoot-like creature, only with a bigger head and shaggier fur that covers its whole face. Feel like that's gonna be C. There's not much else really to him. So, yeah. Alright, next up is Sinkhole Sam. Hold on, let me actually pull him up. Yeah. Let's see. Sinkhole Sam is a worm-like creature that inhabits a portion of an Inman Lake in Kansas. So, let's see, approximately 15 feet in length and as round as an automobile tire. Man. Some theorize that Sam is a prehistoric creature that lives in flooded underground caverns. Other than that, there's not really much to him, so C tier. Alright, Mothman. Personal favorite. Mothman. Hold on. Don't want to get anything wrong about him, so... Mothman originally appeared in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Let's see. He is said to be spotted in areas around... he's essentially an omen of tragedy. So, and he is absolutely... very unique looking, very unique story, so S tier for him, obviously. Alright, next up, Shadow People. Let me bring up there. I might actually need to read more of these, because, well, I don't want to plagiarize. They're also just good resource to use. Okay, so all shadow people are worldwide phenomena. I just put them in North America because why not? Shadow people seem to be living shadows, usually seen out of the corner of one's eyes. Semi-transparent. There have been some reports of being attacked or chased by shadows. They also have ties to the Hat Man, which we'll probably do a video on, like, creepypasta type stuff in the future, but I'm gonna give him B tier. Alright, next up, Dogman, the Michigan Dogman, I should say. Pull him up. Michigan Dogman is a werewolf, wolf-like creature, first reported in 1887 in Wexford County, Michigan. So there's actually a song based on him by Steve Cook, called The Legend, which then caused people to call in with sightings. So, but that wasn't until the that was over 100 years later, so yeah. Honestly, that's a pretty cool story, so that gets it A tier. Next up, Devil Monkey, or Devil Monkeys. Devil monkeys are cryptid primates reported in the US, described as large baboon-like animals with long tails and pointed ears. Other than that, there's not really much to them. So, D, I guess. Need more background for that. Right. Next up is Ogopogo. Ogopogo. Can I just say that I really don't like lake monsters? Monsters that live in the water in general, because I feel like they're just too easy to like make up a story about. Just like, oh, there's this big thing in the water, but you can't see them because there's so much water. Anyways, name given to a cryptid lake monster reported to live in Lake Okanagan in British Columbia, Canada. It's also Canadian, which definitely brings it down a tier. Wait, they found a corpse of it? What? I'm not gonna get into that. Let's see. Last sighted in 2011. Pogo has a many hump variety of lake crawler monster and suggested maybe a kind of primitive serpentine whale, such as a. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce that. Anyways, Ogopogo, D tier. It's just too easy. Next up, Tizahurak. I believe. Half of these I can't even pronounce, so bear with me. Pulling him up. Or it up, I guess. Inuit. It's an Inuit legend. Mythical large serpent-like creature said to inhabit the waters near Key Island, Alaska. 2 meters long, with a tail flipper. It has some more significance than Ogopogo, but so I'm gonna give it C. Okay, now we're getting into some big boys here. Skinwalkers. Now, skinwalkers are, I believe, originally a Navajo legend, or it could be, many Native Americans. Person with supernatural ability to turn to any creature they desire. Must wear the pelt of the animal in order to. So, yeah. Probably the most famous are the Navajo variant of skinwalkers. I say that like it's. I don't mean to be insensitive with all this, but yeah, skinwalkers are probably A tier for me, mostly because I don't know. I have my reasons. Right, next up, another personal favorite, the Wendigo. Wendigo are cannibalistic spirits that resemble zombies. Grow to size of 15 feet long. Come from the Algonquin people of Canada. So it's essentially I actually know a lot of these offhand. So when a human eats another person, they are said to be possessed by the spirit of the Wendigo, which takes over their body, causes them to do more terrible things. I'm gonna put it at S tier just because it's a great story. It has a clear cause to it, and it's all around pretty cool looking. Alright, next up, Thunderbirds. Thunderbird is a large bird like animal that lives in northern Canada and Alaska down to Central America. Legends in native tribes across North America say birds were so large and powerful that they flapped their wings, thunder was created, lightning flashed out of their eyes, and water fell off their backs, creating rain. That is honestly one of the coolest things, so I'm gonna give it A tier. Alright, the squonk. The squonk is a pathetic little creature that, hold on, let me pull him up. Squonk is reported to live in the hemlock forests of northern Pennsylvania. Legend holds that the creature's skin is ill-fitting, covered in warps, and that because it is ashamed of its appearance, it hides in plain sight, spends most of its time weeping. Hunters who have tried to capture squonks have found out that the creature is capable of dissolving completely into a pool of tears and bubbles when cornered. So it is just the absolutely most pathetic thing in existence, and for that, I'm giving it B tier. It is... We love our squonks here. Alright, next up is the White River Monster. Let me pull him up. Okay. The White River Monster is a aquatic cryptid from the White River, Newport, Arkansas. First recorded sighting of Whitey. That's got to be one of the funniest nicknames for cryptid, Whitey. Alright. But in all honesty, it's just a fish. Big fish, big teeth, so F tier. Alright, the Slide Rock Bolter. Another personal favorite of mine just because of how freaking dumb it is. The Slide Rock Bolter is a bizarre creature recorded by lumberjacks in North America during the 19th and early 20th centuries, inhabiting the mountains of Colorado. Let's see. But only at mountains where slope is at an angle greater than 45 degrees. You always get weird stuff, like specific things with cryptids, like, oh, he attacks you, but only at 7:30 at night on a Wednesday. Alright. Slide great uneasiest amongst tourists in the mountains of Colorado. Uses grab hooks on its divided tail to latch onto the crests of mountains of ridges. It often remains motionless for days at a time, watching the gulch below for tourists or any other hapless creature. Once it spots its prey, it lifts its tail and releases its hold on the crest. As gravity sends it barreling downhill, it drools grease from the corners of its mouth, which increases the speed of its huge bodies. I'm not sure how much freaking grease is going to help you going down the side of a mountain, but oh well. I have to give him A tier, just because. Alright, Oklahoma Octopus. This is a pretty stupid sounding one, but we'll see. Right. The Oklahoma octopus is cryptid inhabit freshwater man-made lakes in Oklahoma, where it attacks and kills unsuspecting swimmers. So it has to be a fairly large creature, or to take down entire people. Then again, it could just be like the blue ring octopus. But the fact that it lives in... I'll give it C tier since it's at least somewhat original. It being an octopus instead of fish. Alright. Next up, the Enfield Horror. Let's see what he's got going on. The Enfield saw a string of events that would eventually stir the small Illinois town of Enfield, Child described the being as having no less than 3 legs. So it could have no less than 3 legs. Grayish, slimy skin, short claws, reddish eyes. So it's a tripedal, which is interesting. Honestly, it's a really cool design. I say design like this isn't like something that's been actually seen by people, but I'm going to put it, I'm debating between B or A. I'm going to put it B for now. Might go back and change it. Alright, next up, skunk ape. Hold on. Skunk ape is a bipedal humanoid. Black fur, glowing red eyes. Most obvious characteristic is its terrible odor. It's basically just a smelly Bigfoot, so C tier. Alright, the original I have 2 chupacabras, because there are actually 2 different reports of chupacabras. Since you have the original ones from Puerto Rico, which is this guy, which is more lizard-like, and kind of a mix between a lizard and a gray alien. Sure, most of you know Chupacabra sucks the blood out of livestock. I'm gonna put this one at B tier, and the new one, which is just a coyote with mange, is going in D tier. Alright, Grafton Monster. If you've ever played Fallout 76, this is actually one of the mutants that's in there. I haven't really played that game much. Alright, Grafton Monster. Described being 7 to 9 feet tall, 4 feet wide, and having white seal-like skin. Monster possesses no discernible head. Rested in the middle of the head vested in the middle of its chest. Very deep bellow being heard for miles. So, it's overall a pretty interesting looking creature, but other than that, there's not much to it, so C tier. Alright, now we have the Flatwoods Monster, which is pretty... Just give me a second. Cryptid, sighted in Flatwoods, West Virginia, first. Believed to be extraterrestrial in nature, so it's an alien. 10 feet tall and... Why is it always 4 feet wide? Why is it always this amount of feet wide? I mean, I know why, but it's always such a weird thing to hear about. Robotic suit worn by an occupant of a spacecraft rather than an organic being. Cowl in the shape of an ace of spades, but a red round head. Set in its head with 2 eyes described as portholes. Glowing green-orange in the size of $50. So, pretty interesting again, how it's not actually looks, that's basically just a suit it's in, so A tier. Mostly going off of this, like, description and maybe some history about it, but it's my list. I get to put them wherever I want. Alright, the Hodag. Okay. Hodag is a folkloric American animal. The Hodag is a folkloric animal of the American state of Wisconsin, mainly around the city of Rhinelander, where it was discovered. fiercest, most strangely frightening monster ever to set razor-sharp claws on Earth. He was Eugene Shepard, who rounded up a group of local people to capture the animal. The group reported that they needed to use dynamite to kill the beast. Imagine being so bad at killing a little creature like this that you legitimately have to use explosives. Then again, I don't actually know how large it is. Let's actually see. Yeah, it doesn't say how large it is, but that is, I'm gonna put it at B tier, mostly because I like to say hodag. Alright, next up, Van Meter Visitor. This one is really interesting looking. Descriptions of the beast suggest it had large bat-like wings, left a terrible stench wherever it left, and even stranger, fired beams of bright light from its forehead. That is honestly really cool sounding. Locals attempted to shoot the beast, but gunfire didn't appear to have any effect. Fed up with the menace, a group of townfolk banded together one evening and pursued the creature into an abandoned coal mine. They confronted not one, but two of the beasts, which both turned and disappeared down the gloom of the mine as the men opened fire, never to be seen again. So there are apparently two of them, and they have not been seen in over 117 years, but they have a really... The whole shooting light out of their head thing probably gives it A tier. Next up we have Champy. Champy is a ripoff of Nessie, or the Loch Ness Monster, but the only difference is that it lives in Lake Champlain. So I had to figure out where it actually lived. So, basically, it's a rip. I'm giving it F tier. It's not even worth my time, honestly. Alright, next up, Jersey Devil. Another really good cryptid. Native to the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, is often described as having hooves, a snake tails, bat wings, and a head that looks something like a horse. Jersey Devil. Devil often glows. It can breathe fire or poison water with its breath. Both classic dragon characteristics. Local residents trace its origin to a woman named Mother Leeds, mistress to a British soldier who was suspected of being a witch. She gave birth to a 13th child. She cursed it. The baby was born a hairy creature and soon took terrorizing populace and eating children. First, pop out of the womb, gotta take some with ya. Alright, Jersey Devil is S tier. Mostly because it has a cool story behind it, a very unique look, and overall, just great. Alright, next up is the Pope Lick Monster. Let's see. Pope Lick Monster is a legendary part man, part goat, or part sheep, pointedly lived beneath the Norfolk Southern Railroad trestle over Floyd's Fork Creek in Louisville, Kentucky. Man, I am having trouble speaking today. Numerous urban legends exist about the creature's origin and methods it employs to claim its victims. According to some accounts, the creature uses either hypnosis or voice mimicry to lure trespassers to the trestles to meet their death before an oncoming train. Yeah, get the rail company to do your work for you. Other stories claim the monster jumps down from the trestle onto roofs of cars passing beneath it. Yet another legend tells that it attacks victim with a blood-stained axe. So you could either get hit by a train, cut up by his axe, or he just stomps on your car. Overall, he's pretty interesting, so A or B? I'll go B. Alright, next up, the Loveland Frogman. Let's see. Let me pull him up. The Loveland Frogmen, actually. Cryptids who derived their name from Loveland, Ohio. 4 sightings, one in 1995, 2 in 1972, and 1 in 2016. Likely a hoax. Bipedal frogs, roughly about half the size of a man. Overall, there's really not much. Ability to use sticks as tools. Like sparks like a wand. Okay, so they're wizards apparently. Alright, B tier. Actually A tier. Because who doesn't love tiny frog wizards, I guess. Alright, next up, Bigfoot. We all know Bigfoot. He's the big ape man from that could be anywhere in the North America's forests. Has big feet, and apparently in a lot of the sightings they report a really terrible smell. So that seems to be a common theme with a lot of these cryptids, is that they smell awful. I don't know why, but I'm gonna put Bigfoot at A tier, mostly because it's kind of oversaturated in the cryptid market, if that makes sense. Alright, next up we have the Snallygaster. Let me just... Some of these I know off the top of my head, and others I have to look up. Mythical dragon-like beast said to inhabit the hills surrounding Washington and Frederick counties, Maryland. Oh, excuse me. First spotted by German immigrants. Name meaning quick spirit. Half bird, features of a siren, with nightmarish features of a demon or ghoul. Half reptile, half bird with a metallic beak lined with razor-sharp teeth, occasionally with octopus-like tentacles. Swoops silently in the sky to pick up and carry off its prey. So, Snallygaster is A tier as well. Mostly because it is just all over the place, and honestly, pretty sick. Alright, Fresno Nightcrawlers. These are another personal favorite of mine. Let's see. 7 foot tall gray slender creature. They're basically just a head on little head on long legs, but they're just so cute looking. B tier. Okay, the Beast of Busco. Alright. Let's bring him up. Beast of Busco is a legend in Churubusco, Indiana, of an enormous snapping turtle. So, it is giant snapping turtle, yeah. Weighing an estimated 500 pounds. That is a... Hold on, what's the average size? Turtle. Jesus, this thing's massive. So, an average snapping turtle is only 10 to 35 pounds. I like this one a lot more than, like, the White River Champy. I'm gonna give it C tier, because it's still water monster, but at least it's something original, like the octopus or the sinkhole Sam. Alright, next up, Dover Demon. Let's see. Dover Demon, small humanoid reported from Dover, Massachusetts. When multiple witnesses. Described as looking at a gray variant of alien, except it has rosy tan colored skin. Large head, small stick-like body. It just wanders around on its own. Doesn't wear any clothes. No UFO. Orange glowing eyes. So, really not much about it, but so I'm gonna have to put it at D tier. Mostly because there's just the sightings and no real story behind it, other than it's an alien, maybe. Alright, next up we have the Pukwudgie. Pukwudgie is a 2 to 3 foot tall being from the Wampanoag folklore. Resemble those of a human both with large nose, fingers, ears, smooth gray skin that has been known to glow at times. They can appear and disappear at will, transform into a walking porcupine. Half troll, half human. They can attack people and lure them to their deaths, use magic, use poison arrows, create fire at will. They're basically like trolls, but in North America, so C tier. Alright, next up, Sheep Squatch. Throat's starting to get a little tired. Hold on. Sheep Squatch is a woolly-haired cryptid reported across numerous counties in West Virginia. Described as being a quadruped about the size of a bear, entirely white, wool-like fur, has long, pointed head similar to dog, both long saber-like teeth, and a set of single pint set of horns, not dissimilar to those found on young goats. So it is essentially a roided up sheep that eats people. B tier. Next up, the Miriwashistu, I believe. That is how it's pronounced. I cannot be certain. The Miriwashistu, also known as the water monster of the Missouri River, is a terrifying hairy beast that supposedly travels the Missouri River in central North Dakota. Bipedal, similar to sheep squatch, has a tough bison-like hide and fur, has a single eye and a single bison horn set above its eye, elk-like hooves and human hands, and a jagged spiny backbone. Mandan tribe would control natives, such as the Mandan tribe, would say that it would control spring breakups by smashing the river ice as the temperature would rise, and the creature was more active in the warming temperatures. So, it is a Cyclops waterborne, what's it called? Minotaur. Honestly, that's pretty unique, so A tier. Next up, the Bunny Man. Excuse me. Let me pull. second. Originates from Fairfax County, Virginia. Man wearing a rabbit costume who attacks people with an axe or hatchet. So he is said to most stories occur around the Gloucester Overpass, a southern railway overpass spanning Gloucester Road near Clifton, Virginia, sometimes referred to as Bunny Man Bridge. So it's basically just a dude who wears a bunny costume and attacks you with a axe. So D tier. Alright, next up, the Dungaven Hooter. That's such a great name. Let's see. Dungaven Hooter is a fearsome critter from the tales of lumberjacks in North America. It lived in Maine and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Described as a deadly alligator-like creature with no mouth, but nostrils were abnormally large. It had short legs, thick, powerful tail, makes no noise except for a snort. Preys on lumberjack behind a bush. Person stumbles in. Creature, hold on, I itch. Leaps out and knocks its prey to the ground with its tail. Then jumps up and down on victim until gases are produced, which it inhales through its large nostrils. So, it crushes you. Hold on, eyes really itching. So, it stomps on you and crushes you to the point where it can snort you like cocaine to eat you. That is hilarious, A tier. Alright, next up we got the Aggro Pelter. This is another fearsome critter. Where is it? Hold on. Said to inhabit hollow trees of conifer woods from Maine to Oregon. From this vantage point, the creature would weigh an unwary person and hurl wooden splinters and branches at the intruder. Some have described the creature as being so quick that it's never seen. Once referred to creature having a slender, wiry body, the villainous face of an ape, arms like muscular whiplashes, which it can snap off dead branches and hurl them through the air like shells of a cinch gun. So, it is essentially a ape with long arms that... I mean, I just described it to you, so... not D tier, B tier. Overall, pretty fun little creature. Next up, the Lizard Man. Voice is really starting to wear out a bit, but we'll keep going. Not specific to one cryptid, but spectrum of bipedal hominid-like reptile men. Main one we're focusing on is the one from Scape or Swamp from South Carolina, Bishopsville, South Carolina. Living dinosaurs and even an offshoot evolution to which reptilian hierarchy continued to evolve along the same path as early primates. What? The Creek were a Native American confederacy forming the largest... So yeah, it's just a lizard guy who lives in a swamp, so C tier, I guess. Alright, next up, Jackalope. Jackalope is a mythical animal in North American folklore, described as a jackrabbit with antelope / pronghorn horns or deer antlers and sometimes a pheasant's tail, and often hind legs. Rabbits and jackalopes were inspired by sightings of rabbits infected with Shope papillomavirus, which causes the growth of horn and antler-like tumors in various places on the rabbit's head and body. So, that's honestly pretty surprising. During the Old West, when cowboys gathered by campfires singing at night, jackanapes could often be heard mimicking their voices. It's said that the jackalope may be caught by putting a flask of whiskey out at night. The jackalope will drink it filled with whiskey, and its intoxication will make it easier to hunt. So not only are they potentially tumor-ridden, they're also alcoholics. C tier. Actually, A tier. That's such an iconic piece of American folklore, and I just realized I misspelled it. Shit. Alright, anyway, hoop snake. Let me see here. Hoop snake is a fearsome critter told by lumberjacks living around Wisconsin, Minnesota, and parts of Canada. Similar to Ouroboros from Greek mythology, the hoop snake moved itself by biting the back of its tail with its jaws, transforming its entire body into a wheel. It moved with lightning speed and was highly venomous, possessing a stinger at the tip of its tail. Method of escape from the hoop snake was to hide behind a tree and avoid its strike. Another method was to jump through the hoop as it approached, confusing the snake. I always love little things like that with cryptids, like... So, B tier. Next up, the Wampus cat. Let's see. The Wampus cat, otherwise known as the Wampus beast or the Cherokee Death Cat. It's a large panther-like cat in American folklore. Depictions range from frightful to comical, depending on the region. Appearance of the Wampus cat varies. Cat-like creature that terrorizes neighborhoods. Wampus cat is depicted as a bipedal cat the size of a Mancoon, having tuft ears, tail of a lion, sharp claws, whiskers, and a comical smile, in right form like a folding pruning hook. But on the pantographic principle, thanks to nature who endowed the marvelous Wampus cat with that amazing right forearm. Let's see. In mythology, Wampus cat is known as the Ewa, a Cherokee woman who did not trust her husband. Woman's husband went out to hunt his fellow warriors. Suspicious, the woman put on a mountain lion coat and went to spy on him. When she found out, the medicine man punished her by forcing her to wear the skin forever, transforming her spirit into the Wampus cat. Similar stories. So there's a lot of different things. Wampus cat's kind of all over the place, so I'm gonna have to put at C tier for that. Next up, the Goofus bird. The Goofus bird. Hold on. Goofus bird is backwards flying bird. Flies backwards as it does not care where it's going, only where it's been, and it builds nests upside down. Having a conspicuous appearance with a turkey-like head, long green neck, and silver scales, and a black right wing and a pink left wing. So it is essentially the world's dumbest bird, which is kind of an achievement. So, C tier. Next up, another personal favorite, the hide behind. Let me pull. Hide behind is a mysterious nocturnal creature. It is said to prey upon humans that wander in the woods at night, and was credited for the disappearance of early colonial loggers when they failed to return to camp. Early accounts describe hide behinds as large, powerful animals, despite the fact that no one was able to see them. As the name suggests, hide behind is known for its ability to conceal itself. When an observer attempts to look at it directly, the creature quickly hides behind an object or the observer so it can't be directly seen. Uses its ability to stalk prey without being observed and to attack without warning. Once the person is killed, the hide behind drags the person back to the lair to be eaten. Honestly, I love this thing because it just preys on your fear of being outside and constantly being watched and stalked. So, S tier. Next up, the Tennessee Wildman. Let's see here. Go back to the 1800s of McNairy County, Tennessee. One of the stories is that a circus freak showman somehow captured the beast and put him on display in a cage where everyone can see him for exploitation until it finally broke free. Much similar to that to Sasquatch, but only more human. Dark gray dark ginger hair, 7 feet tall, piercing red eyes. Let out a disturbing war cry that can frighten anyone that hears it, and has a horrible smell reminiscent to the skunk ape. Again with the terrible smelling cryptids. Why is that a common theme? Alright, Tennessee Wildman gets a B tier. Just because he's more human Bigfoot, I guess. Sorry for that voice crack. Next up, Beast of Bray Road. Beast of Bray Road is first reported in the 1980s in a rural road outside Elkhorn, Wisconsin. Well beyond the initial location, to any unknown creature from southern Wisconsin or northern Illinois that is described having similar characteristics. Also known as the Wisconsin werewolf. So it's another werewolf type creature. So I say we put it on the same level as his Dogman. So A tier. Next up, Bear Lake Monster. It's another one of these cryptid Bear Lake on the Utah-Idaho border. Often described as at least being 40 feet long with short but powerful legs. Beast was known to wait for its victims by the shore, then pull them in. It is also known to attack unlucky swimmers. Report grayish greenish skin with the head of an alligator. So it's kind of just an alligator with webbed feet a bit. D tier. Actually, F tier. Alright, last up for today, the Monster of Monterey. Let's see. Give me just a second. It's another goddamn plesiosaur. Fuck you, F tier. Alright, that is the list. I feel like we did good. I feel like I did good. I will save this image real quick. Let's download. Right. I think that just about does it for today. Hold on. So yeah, we just had a quick stream today just to do that. I'll post that up on Twitter later. This will also be being recorded, go up on my YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching, and we'll be here again tomorrow for Cyberpunk 2077. See you then.